So this is going to be part 2 of the question and answer video. So I did the part 1, I guess a couple of weeks ago, and I think I really only got through maybe 4 or so questions. So I'm going to try to do some more today. And I thought, why not fold some more laundry here at the ironing board. Some things might need to be ironed. We'll see. Alright, so let me just open up these questions here. Let's see where I left off. Alright, this next question is, what are some of your favorite old CDs, or what are some bands that you love? If you were going to sing karaoke, what song would you pick? That's such a hard question to answer. Doesn't seem like it, but when you start thinking about music, there's just so many good songs in music. I love 80s music. I love all the rock. You know, I was like a young teenager when all of the grunge and all that. Pearl Jam, I love Pearl Jam. I would definitely confidently be able to say that Pearl Jam is one of my, is right at the top of the list somewhere. I love Pearl Jam. All of the early or late 80s and early 90s, like rock, I used to be really into the like long-haired guy bands like Skid Row and Aerosmith, all that types of stuff. I still like all of that. Faith No More. And then the other kinds of music from like the early 90s. I love R.E.M. What else? Foo Fighters. What else? Red Hot Chili Peppers, all those kinds of bands. And then I like, you know, all the pop music from the 80s and 90s, of course. I love like Phil Collins and Fleetwood Mac, Dave Matthews Band. I'm just thinking of things here. I love all the 90s like hip hop and rap, of course. What else? I like everything, really. All the older stuff. George Michael, Madonna, Elton John, Sam Smith. I could go on and on about music. I have a box of like empty CD cases from all of my CDs throughout the years that I've taken out of the cases to put inside of like the you know, the CD books that you would keep in your car. So I have all of those empty cases, and I was thinking that soon I will do a video with those, going over all of my old CDs. So maybe that will answer that question a little better. So, good question. If I was going to sing karaoke, let's see, some songs that I have on here that I enjoy singing. Not that I sound good singing them, but in my car, of course, I do. I have some George Michael on here. Careless Whispers, good song. I have some Paramore on here. I have some Fleetwood Mac. I have some Faith No More songs that I love. Phil Collins. Let's see. Melissa Etheridge. Oh, that's a good one. I love Melissa Etheridge songs. Alanis Morissette. neon trees. So, one of my favorite songs is by the Counting Crows. It's just some song that I don't know, I've never heard anyone else say they love this song so much, but for some reason the song Rain King, I don't know why it has like the perfect sort of melody to me. I love singing it in the car. I only listen to it, now and then, but that's one of my favorite songs. 30 Seconds to Mars, I love them. The Cure, I love The Cure. What else? So, I guess you can imagine all the music that I like. It's all the sort of popular stuff from back then. Alright, so let me see another question here. What are you working on right now that you're really excited about? Not just on YouTube, but in your everyday life. What am I working on right now? Well, I guess I don't really have too much else going on besides work and the kids and that's really it. My favorite hobby is this YouTube channel. So I'm trying to figure out ways to improve my channel and kind of keep it interesting and enjoyable. I do have someone trying to help me out with like the shorter videos and editing those into TikToks. So I actually do have a new TikTok account if you are someone who enjoys TikTok and those shorter type of videos. I'm doing all of my own filming, of course, and editing and all that, but I have someone helping me out with managing that account and posting the videos for me. So if you want to go check those out, I hope you enjoy it. So really that's it. I think the kids take up a lot of my time, so I'm enjoying seeing them growing and doing all of their different hobbies that they enjoy. So that kind of has to take up a lot of my time. Where are you going on your next big vacay? Making plans yet? I absolutely love your video when you showed us all your souvenirs. Thank you. It's very nice. Yeah, I do like to try to go to different places. We like to go to Mexico a lot because number one, we have family there, but also it's beautiful and a nice place to go on vacation. So we try to go different places in Mexico sometimes, but there's a lot of places in really the world and just in the United States that I haven't been. So I would like to travel out west at some point if I could. You know, I would love to visit California. I would love to visit Colorado. I've never been to Georgia or Texas and places like that. I have been all up and down the East Coast. So, I'd like to go more out west. Also to Las Vegas I'd like to go to. I don't know. Why don't you guys recommend some places for me that would be nice for vacation? We love the beach, but you know, we're open to different things. I really just like to do sightseeing. I really enjoyed our trip to Nashville because I really liked all of the music. Let's see if I can iron this just a bit. I really did enjoy all of the live music in Nashville. It just was very fun. It can get a little crazy if you're out there late at night, but I did enjoy. We went to see some bluegrass when we were there, and blues, which I've never seen live. So I really, really enjoyed that. So I don't know. I don't have anything planned actually, but I'm kind of like a last minute type of person, so I just choose somewhere to go a couple of weeks before we're set to leave. You know? So if you have any suggestions, let me know. Okay, let's see what's next. Where are you from and what do you do for work? Okay, so where am I from? I was born in New Jersey, and I live close to New Jersey. I live in Pennsylvania right now, and I never really moved too far away from this area. So I'm from the East Coast, from the Northeast area of the United States. And what do I do for work? I don't think I've ever shared this before. So I think that I would just like to say I am in the healthcare field. I think I'll just leave it general like that. Name 3 of your favorite books and what are they about? That's a hard one because I have not been able to read a book in forever long. I like to read mystery type stories, so I'm sorry I won't be able to really name books and what they're about because it's been forever. The last series of books that I can remember reading all the way through was the Hunger Games books. I Amuse. Hopefully you know the story of the Hunger Games. I did see the movies after reading the book. I enjoyed reading the books a lot. So I have gotten into reading books of short stories, only because I feel like it's something I can actually accomplish, a story from beginning to end. So I have a lot of books like that, like mystery. I think I'll just be able to say that for sure. It's more like mystery type stories that I like. So, sorry I can't be too specific. Do you like to do sports? If yes, which ones? Okay, yes, I do love sports. I've always been into like different sports. When I was a kid, when I was a very little kid, up until the time I was about 12, I was into gymnastics. So I did that for a long time. I can still do some of the moves. I think once you do those kinds of things, they never leave you. So I still like to do cartwheels and walking on my hands and all that. I love volleyball. I love to play volleyball, beach volleyball. I love baseball or softball. Also, I used to play softball for a short time when I was younger, but I still like to play just for, recreation. I love to play catch. I would like to play football. I never played on a team or anything like that, but I enjoy it. I would say those are my favorite sports, probably volleyball and baseball. Okay, what else here? What is your favorite vacation? Really anywhere on the beach. And there's a lot of places that I haven't been. So that's hard to answer, but probably my favorite place has been Cabo San Lucas in Mexico. Which place did you always want to visit? Gosh, there's so many places that I'd like to visit. I have always wanted to go to see the Grand Canyon. I've never been there. So that's one place that I have in my head I need to go to see one day. And over in other countries across the sea, like, in Europe. I've never been anywhere over there. Would love to travel there someday. Would love to go to Italy, England, Ireland, Portugal, I think. There's so many places I haven't been. Alaska. So, really just everywhere. Let me iron these a little bit. The next question is, what is your favorite drink? Okay, well, I actually have 3 favorite drinks that I can name. Okay, the number 1 would be water. I drink a lot of water. I know it's hard for some people to drink water, but I do drink it all day. My other favorite drink is coffee. Drink coffee 2 times a day. I drink it in the morning and the afternoon. And I probably have about 3 cups a day. 2 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. And sometimes I'll drink coffee at night too, Like if I go out to dinner or something, I will drink coffee after dinner. It doesn't keep me up at night or anything like that. And my third favorite drink is beer. I love beer. I've always liked beer. I think even when I was a kid, I used to ask my dad for sips of his beer, and I just thought it tasted good. And what's funny is I'm the only one in my family, well, my dad likes beer, but my sisters and the other people in my family don't really care for beer. But it's funny because my mom always tells the story that when she was pregnant with me, she used to crave beer. And she doesn't like beer at all. But for some reason, when she was pregnant with me, she just really, really wanted it. So she drank beer sometimes. Not too much. I think maybe just once. But she just had a craving for it. And I don't know, I love beer now, so I don't, drink it to get drunk or anything like that. I just really enjoy the taste of it. So usually we'll have a beer or two. Maybe just on the weekend, or if I go to dinner somewhere, I'll have a beer. Try not to drink it really during the week. I used to, but I tried to. I used to like to have a beer while I was cooking dinner every day, but now I kind of stopped doing that, and I'll just have a beer or two on the weekend. So those are my favorite drinks. Alright, what do I like to eat? I like to eat everything, really. I like to eat yogurt. I love pizza. I love pasta. I love seafood a lot. I really love everything, I guess. I would say those are my favorite things. Italian food, and I love sushi. There's lots of good food in this area where we live, so we get all of the different types of cuisines, and they're all very good, I'd say. Alright, I'm going to have to pause for just a moment, and I will be right back. So cereal I love to mix up cereal, put 3 different kinds in the bowl. I also love cream of wheat cereal, like that with a little bit of milk in it. It's really good. I've always liked that. How about something strange? A strange thing that I like to eat. You'll probably think I'm crazy, but I love baby food. That's a very weird thing to admit. Not all baby food, but the rice cereal, the cereal, the box of dry cereal that you put in a bowl and add, I guess you can add water or milk. I like to add milk to it. I know that sounds crazy, but I've always liked the taste of it. I'll only eat it once, in a long while. Very strange, I know, but I think it tastes so good. And I guess it has a lot of vitamins in it, right? here's a bit of an interesting fact. What tip would you give to new or future parents? That's a really hard question to answer. There's so many things. I guess the answer is that you just kind of have to go for it. Take it as it comes. You're going to make mistakes. You can't control everything. It's hard. It's a hard job. Take advantage of the fact that kids love to have fun, and just try your best to have lots and lots of fun with them, because it's not something that lasts forever. When they get bigger, they kind of want to do their own thing. You know, when you have them when they're younger, it's really nice because they're just fun. They're fun people. It's okay to have to take breaks and feel stressed out and all that, but just take advantage of that time, because one day, you know, they're going to be big, and that time where they're with you all the time is not going to last forever. So I live in a house that is the exact same style as the house that I grew up in when I was a kid. So the downstairs of the house has been modified and changed, but the upstairs of the house is exactly the same. Has all the same bedrooms and everything. And so right now my son, he's a teenager, and he stays in the bedroom that was my bedroom when I was his age, which I didn't really think about too much. But I have this vivid memory of when I was a teenager and I was asleep in my bedroom. And it was an early, like, Saturday morning, let's say. We'll say it's like 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning, Saturday morning. I was sleeping, and here comes my dad barging in the room. You know, I guess he was in whatever kind of dad mood that he was in, and he's telling me, "You gotta get up out of bed. You gotta go down and clean your car and clean this and do that." And I'm feeling like, geez, it's Saturday morning. It's 7 o'clock. It feels like, in my memory, I'm like, it was 6 o'clock in the morning. No, I'm sure it was like 7, 8, I don't know. But in my opinion, it was way too early, and I was like, geez, okay, I'll get up. You know? So fast forward like 30 years, and now just the other day, my son is sleeping in bed. It's, we'll say 8, 9, 10 o'clock, and he's still sleeping. And I guess I was in some sort of mood for him to get up and start doing stuff, you know, cut the grass or do laundry, something like that. And here I am standing at the door of the bedroom where my father was standing years ago, and he's in the bed where I was, and it's like deja vu. Same exact situation, just roles reversed. I was the parent now, so that was kind of like crazy. I made a point to kind of tell that to my son. I said, I remember this same exact, I think he felt bad, like I was saying that he wasn't doing enough or whatever. And so I explained to him right after. I said, I remember this exact same situation happening to me when I was your age. And I just always try to remind him that even when I tell him things that I want him to be doing differently or whatever, I try to make him know that, I don't think there's anything wrong with him and that he's not doing anything that's different than what other teenagers do. And I told him I did the same exact thing as him when I was his age. But I'm just trying to teach him how to be better and whatever. So I just try to find ways to make the kids feel like I don't think they're horrible people, even when they make mistakes and things like that. So I don't know, maybe that's a good tip as well. Alright, I think I went a little out of order here. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why? And number 2, if you could travel back or forth to any time in history, what time period would you choose? Well, I guess I would choose maybe to be able to, to be invisible, I think, would be a really good power, right? I mean, isn't that a perfect, escape from anything? Just make yourself invisible. So I guess that would be good, and to make other people invisible. And maybe to time travel. That would be cool. So this kind of goes with the other question. If I could travel back or forth to any time in history, what time period would you choose? That's a good question. That's like a really cool concept. I love all of those movies and TV shows where the people travel back and forth through time. There's been a lot of them over the years. It's always interesting to think about being placed in like a famous time in history. So I would really say that I would go anywhere, anytime. But I was watching a movie last night, actually, called Palm Springs, and it's with Andy Samberg, and of course I forget the name of the actress that's in it. It's a good movie. I saw it before when it first came out, and I happened to rewatch it last night, and there was a scene where they were sitting like in the desert somewhere, and there were dinosaurs walking by, and it just looked so amazing. So I thought, oh, that would be pretty cool. If I had to choose a time to go back or forward to, I would say going back to the time of the dinosaurs would be pretty cool. Just to be able to see something amazing like that. Yeah, I think that would be, if I had to just choose one, maybe that's what I would do. just to see some like extinct animals, or just to see what the earth looked like way back then. So that's a good question. So let's see. I feel like I'm doing a bad job with answering these questions. I don't know if I answered this one before. How do you go about creating your more roleplay-like videos? Do you plan them out and write some kind of script, or you just improvise? A little bit of both. I would say mostly I kind of improvise. I mean, I plan out very roughly what I'm going to do, but I think it's obvious that I don't really write a script because I say a lot of weird things and I say a lot, like I'm just kind of thinking about it as I go. So I would say it leans more toward just improvising. I probably should write more of a script, and my videos would probably be a little better. But I don't know why. I just kind of wing it. Let's see what's next. What is your favorite movie and or TV show, and what are some hobbies that you enjoy? Favorite movie and or TV show, because there's so many. I don't know how I could choose one favorite one. If I'm thinking, I wish I could go on to my watch history of things. Well, looking back in time, Malcolm in the Middle was a really good TV show. It's one of my favorite shows from a long time ago. What else? Of course, all the old shows, like, like the 80s sitcoms like Roseanne. All those shows. So now there's like so much to watch. Movies and TV. The Office. I think that's one that I will watch every episode over and over. I never get tired of that. If I have to name a movie that I know I love, Napoleon Dynamite. It's one of my favorite movies. Movies like that. I don't know if you guys know. The movies like A Mighty Wind and Best in Show. Those were really good movies. When I was younger, we used to like to watch that movie Beaches. The Beaches movie with Bette Midler. For whatever reason. When we were younger, we really liked that movie a lot. I've seen it so many times. Lately I've been watching, I just found this app that I'm sure you guys already know of, Tubi. So Tubi has all of these old shows and movies that I have always loved. So I have been watching all of the old like 80s movies. I recently watched She-Devil. It's a good movie. And Baby Boom. It's a good movie from a long time ago. It has like all the old stuff. I was watching Once Bitten with Jim Carrey, where he becomes a vampire. So I've been enjoying all the old stuff. Mr. Mom with Michael Keaton. He's one of my favorites. All of the Fargo, the different series that they had. I think it's like FX maybe. Those were really good. I like that. What else? American Horror Story. Love all of those. No, Ozark was a good show. That's kind of older. Not sure if it's ever going to come back on, but that was really good. Anything that's like kind of creepy, like The Twilight Zone. I guess that's all my favorite kind of stuff. Funny things and like mystery or horror type. I won't even say horror, like gory type horror, even though I love all the movies from the 80s like Halloween and Friday the 13th and all those things. I like the more, mysterious ones, like American Horror Story is really good. Stuff like that. I think I'll just... what did I major in college? Well, I wanted to be a teacher. I really wanted to be a math teacher. So, and then I studied science, the sciences, and healthcare in school. And I loved math too, so that area. I've never been much into like the writing and reading and composition and all that kind of stuff. Just the sciences. I actually very much enjoyed taking those classes like chemistry, algebra. I don't know why. Just as fun to me. Let's see, do you know any other languages? What is an example of one of your pet peeves? What albums am I listening to this week? And have you done karaoke? These are all so hard to answer. No, I don't know any other languages. I know a little bit of Spanish. I can understand a good amount of Spanish, I think, but I'm definitely not fluent. I majored in, not majored, I'm sorry. All throughout school, I took French, but I don't remember anything. I took it all through middle school, high school, and college. So yeah, I took French all throughout school, and I don't remember any of it. I've tried all of the different apps for learning Spanish, but it's just something that it would be best to learn just being in that environment, I think, and being around people who are speaking that language. I'm sure that's the best way to learn, you know. So I wish I could. One of my pet peeves, that's a really hard question too. Let's see, what albums am I listening to? Oh gosh, I wish that I could be more into listening to new music and things like that. You know, now there's like so much music out. Of course, I use Spotify to listen to music now, but I never look at like new music or like discover new types of music just because, I don't know, I guess I just don't really have a lot of time for it. But music is one of my favorite things in the whole world. I just don't have a lot of time, I guess. I really only get to listen to music in the car when I'm driving, and that's the best, right? When I am driving somewhere, I usually have one of the kids in the car, and they like to listen to music too, so I let them kind of, we have to like take turns, so, but I do like to make them listen to my music because, they have to know all the old stuff too. And my son is getting into a lot of the older stuff that I like too, like all the 90s and 2000s and different rock music and stuff. Let's see. So if you have good music that you like, let me know. I will say one person I just kind of discovered recently, and I like a couple of her songs, Remy Wolf. Let's see, have I done karaoke? I have never done karaoke in public, and of course I've always been too shy to get up on a stage. I probably would have just passed out. But my husband loves karaoke. He's more outgoing than I am. And he got, one of those little ones for home with the microphone. And so I've done karaoke in my house in front of other people besides my husband, but never in public. Maybe one day I will be brave enough to do that. And someone asked me that, right? What songs would I sing for karaoke? I could do some Madonna. One of my favorite songs to sing in the car is Live to Tell by Madonna. Live to Tell is one of my favorite songs because I think it was in a movie from when I was very little. Now you guys can tell me if I'm wrong. I remember seeing the movie with, I guess it's Sean Penn and Christopher Walken. I forget what it's called. It's something like open, I don't know, I don't really remember. But I remember it was on at my house when I was a kid, I guess in the 80s. And it was one of those movies that like just made me feel really strong feelings that I didn't understand because I was so little. I think it was something happened. I remember there being a gun in it and something very sad happening. But I'm pretty sure that that song was in that movie. And it's like this big emotional thing. When I hear that song, I feel really like the sadness or something from that movie. But I really just love that song. And Madonna has a lot of really, really good songs. And who else? Elton John, I love. Sam Smith. Sam Smith is really fun to sing. There's so many. There's too many for me to name them all. Weezer. Weezer's another album. I can sing that Blue album front to back. Weezer and Sublime. I can sing those albums like from the beginning to the end. I have them memorized. I saw Weezer in concert a couple of years ago. They were on tour with, it was Weezer, Fall Out Boy, and Green Day. So that was a good show. They were really good performers. It was a really exciting show. Alright, so pet peeve. I think I could name a lot of things that I don't like, but I think that a pet peeve is supposed to be something sort of like unimportant or like insignificant, like kind of a minor thing. So I had to think about this one. And I think that one of my pet peeves is when people like answer questions or give information by asking themselves a question. You know what I mean? Like when people will say, do I have a pet peeve? Yes. Do I want to tell you what it is? No. Things like that. That's kind of like I don't know, a little tiny thing that kind of bugs me, but it's not really a big deal. So I'm sorry if you do that. It's not that bad of a thing. I think it's just when people overdo it. It's just a noticeable thing, I guess you could say. So that's my pet peeve. Well, one of them. Do I have any, do I have a different speaking voice at home? And do you have help coming up with scenarios for your ASMR presentations? I guess, yes, I do have a different speaking voice at home. I don't think it's very different from my ASMR voice, but I do try and kind of control the voice when I'm making these videos, obviously. I'm sure I think I always have talked very kind of quietly, and I don't know, sometimes I think it's hard for people to hear me. I have to learn to speak up a little bit, but people have always made comments about, like, I don't know, different things in my life, but by the way that I talk, people have always said, you know, you're so calm and you talk so softly. I'm not sure. To me, it doesn't sound soft, and I'm sure to my husband it doesn't sound soft or relaxing. But other people have mentioned it. Just strangers, when I'm not trying to sound relaxing. People have said, like, you talk in such a calming way, or, you know, things like that. So I think I must kind of talk in that way, but I probably talk a little bit faster and louder in my normal voice. And do you have help coming up with scenarios? I don't. No, not at all. I do it all by myself. I think of these things up in my head and I just do them. You know, sometimes people will say, oh, you should do this or you should do that. I have like lists and lists of ideas written all over the place. I have so many video ideas that I just can't do all of them. They take time, but I'm constantly thinking, oh, that would be a good video, or this would be a good video. But it's hard to do them all. Do I have a favorite ASMR trigger? I guess my triggers would probably be, like I've said before, someone's voice. Music can be a nice trigger for me. Very gentle music sometimes, but not a lot of music. Just sometimes it has to be. I also love cleaning sounds, like very specific water sounds, or like rolling carts, I think, like the cleaning cart. I think that's one thing that I like. Or like at the library, I think that's one of my favorite sounds, and why I like cleaning and library so much, because there's like, I love when they push the cart of the cleaning supplies. I love like hard plastic sounds, like really thick plastic, but it has to be like unintentional. The more unintentional, the better for me. I have a hard time watching purposeful ASMR. I think it's all great, and people do it so well, and the sounds are really, really nice and perfect, but when I can tell that it's being done on purpose, I guess that's what kind of makes it not work for me, I guess. So that's why I like the more unintentional type of ASMR. Any kind of cleaning, and like hanger sounds. I love the hangers, people going through clothes, things like that. And paper, books, those are all good sounds. Let's see. I guess just a couple more questions for today. Because there's only underwear left to fold in there. I'm not going to fold underwear in my video. Do any family members watch your videos? And if I could travel to one place on earth to make a video, where would you go and why? Oh, that's another hard question. So I don't think that my family members really like watch my videos regularly. Sometimes my daughter has told me that she watches my videos. Not too much, just maybe once in a while. And some of her friends, actually, I think, sometimes watch my videos, which is really nice. They're so cute. So I don't think most of my family really experiences ASMR. I think that my cousin, at some point, she's just trying to be very supportive of me, I think. And I think that my cousin's husband enjoys ASMR, and her father, I think, enjoys. Her father, my uncle, he used to watch Bob Ross all the time when I was a kid, and maybe that's why. Maybe it just makes him fall asleep and relax. So I think he does enjoy ASMR, and I have to like try and recommend some channels for him because I think he probably would really be into ASMR. But he's like an older guy, so maybe he doesn't know like what to look at, or maybe it has to be something that he would enjoy listening to, you know. I'm sure he doesn't want to watch like a young girl doing someone's hair or something, but I think he watches my videos sometimes, and my cousin actually said that she would put my videos on for a dog that she was kind of taking care of, and the dog was kind of, you know, a little bit wild, so she put on some of my videos for the dog, and she said the dog fell right to sleep every time, so I don't know. But they're all very nice. My family, you know, obviously is really nice and supportive, and I just don't think that they experience ASMR, that's all. So, and what else was the question? Oh, yes, it was, if I could travel to one place on Earth to make a video. Oh gosh, I don't know, that's a really hard question. To travel, I don't know. I mean, there's so many beautiful places. I think it would be like something indoors. You know, because really I could go anywhere, like sightseeing, things in nature. But I always wish that I could do more like tours of places with like a guide giving information, and then I could kind of make it like somehow relaxing by talking too. And like I've done like in the bookstore and in the antique store, I have a list of a bunch of different places that I would like to go to. It's just I have to find the time to do that. Like just different interesting stores or interesting places, like I don't know, old buildings, like abandoned places, or I don't know, just cool things like that. It would be like things that I could tell interesting facts about, I guess. So I do plan on doing that. Different college campuses I think would be cool, or like all different historic buildings I think would be cool to see and talk about. So it would be something like that. And I guess there's places like that all over the world. So I hope that answers that question. And I think I will have to stop there. I promise that I will answer the rest of these questions in a third part video. I think I kind of rambled on a little bit here because I wasn't prepared with my answers, but I will try to look at these questions maybe and answer more of them next time. So sorry. I hope you're enjoying these videos and I hope I'm answering your questions. So I guess that's it for now. thank you to all of you for asking these questions. And thank you for watching. And I will see you in the third part, hopefully not too long from now.